Hi everybody. I just came from the Iowa 80. I did lots of shopping. Next time I'll bring you with. But I got some things to spruce up my truck. I couldn't wait to put them on, so I went ahead and look at this. I went with the Gothic spikes because regular spikes, everybody's doing those, so I went with those because they look a little bit different, but they're still spiky, shiny. So let me bring in the truck. Couple of minor upgrades, which is I got a new steering wheel cover, so it's all, let's see here, there we go, see, it's all quilty and blue thread. And then I got a steering wheel, or not steering wheel, shift cover. Apparently the difference between regular and Black Flames was, I think, like $50, and I was like, no thank you. But we'll go ahead and kick this and start off. Yay, Kenworth. Okay, so I thought I'd throw that at the beginning of this video just cause. But talking about games asked me when I started gaming, and it was when I was about, I was 15 years old. And this is gonna come off as an after-school special, but there was one kid sitting at a table by himself, and nobody else was sitting at his table at lunch, and I always had a soft heart. I just did. So I decided to go over there and sit down, you know, within lunchtime, and I noticed that the books in front of him were not school books. And it was 2nd edition AD&D. And I've always been a little bit of an artist. I haven't drawn anything in a while, which I really want to get back to. But I was really digging the art because I used to draw fantasy. I mean, before I even knew what D&D was or anything. And when he started talking to me about it, it really intrigued me because it was, you know, as growing up, I was pretty much an only child, so, you know, I had pretty solid imagination because, you know, where I lived out in the country, so I didn't really have neighbors, you know, or, you know, even the neighbors that were relatively close didn't have kids around my age, so, so it really appealed to me just using my imagination and, exploring like a made-up universe in your mind. I really like the idea of that. It's kind of like, you know, starring in your own movie, and your character can do whatever you want. You can write the script for your own character, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And it wasn't but even a year after I started playing when I really discovered that I loved running. I really liked world building and creating scenarios and seeing how people react and stuff like that. And so my first experience with gaming was AD&D, and I'd like to make the story even happier by saying I'm still friends with that kid, but no, I moved to a different school, but you know, oh man, it was so long ago. Yeah, the white hairs do not betray how long ago it was. But yeah, after that, I could never really get away with it, or away from it. After I learned gaming, I've always found different mediums. You can always go to a game shop and, you know, post up on a board, you know, and find out what games are in the area, or if anybody wants to join a game. Stupidness. Or you can do what I do and turn people into gamers, and I like doing that too. Which most times when people are curious about it, but they're like, well, I'm not really sure I can do that. And I would always give the test of, okay, follow with me for just a second. Imagine you're in a field, and you can feel the breeze blowing by you, and you can see like a lot of the grasslands just kind of waving in the grass. And off in the distance, right in front of, either a rising or a setting sun, you see a castle off in the distance. You see smoke rising from it. You hear screams and shouting off in the distance, followed by the pangs of metal clanging against metal. And then I would stop and I'd say, have you got that image pretty clear in your mind? And most times, it's like, I think I've had one, not really, but I'd say 19 out of 20 times, they go, yeah. I was like, oh, well then you're gaming. I was like, it's that easy. The only limits, it sounds remarkably cheesy, but the only limits are your own imagination. If you don't have an imagination at all, you can't picture. I'd wonder how you were alive. But that's usually the test I gave people. And, I've described different settings, but usually that's my favorite one because, people are like, I want to go there, I want to see what's going on. But I digress. But yeah, it's like I visited a couple game shops in Indianapolis, which is technically my hometown. I go ahead and lose the hat. See, I'm not bald. I'm not hiding anything. In fact, I grow out my hair so I donate it, and which is why on my earlier videos you see me have like really long hair and then I just chop it off because my hair grows like wildfire. I just stopped cutting it, and now every time that it grows out, I just donate it because I'm like, I got speckles of cancer throughout my family, and cancer's a motherfucker. So, but yeah, I've been steadily gaming. I stopped my Tuesday game to reboot it because now I have a handful of people that are really some things interchange, and some people just didn't mesh well with other people. So, but yeah, I, in my world building process, did things a little bit backwards in a certain area, and I consulted my group and said, hey, if it's alright, I want to go back and change this around. And from as I can tell, everybody's like all for it. I've only heard back from like 3 or 4, and maybe some have moved on. And I'm not the most patient guy in the world either. So, well, the game's stopping. Oh, time to get another game. But that, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break while I rewrite a lot of the story, and because I don't want to run people over the same story that I've already started. So, new plots, new side quests, and all kinds of fun stuff. Another thing I might do as an aside in the meantime, don't quote me on it, but I use a lot of half-price books. Always sells these, they've got usually Pathfinder, like almost pamphlets. They're like really thin books. But they've usually got a little, something in it, new, sometimes prestige classes and whatnot. I might review a few of those because there are some things that I really found really cool in some of those. And I pick them up because they're like $5 a piece, and you can usually, get something out of them. So, but yeah, I started off in AD&D, and then I switched off to White Wolf. For a while, I was a really big fan of like Werewolf the Apocalypse and Vampire the Masquerade, which, talking about games, did a really good review for the anniversary of, so check that out. I am terrible at technology. I can't leave any links, but I will say that his channel is called Talking About Games, and he has a plethora of videos because he is way more dedicated to this than I am, so you can stay subscribed here. You know, someday I'll be in like double digits. So, but right now I'll maintain with my 9 and be happy with it. So, well, that's my gaming. So I've been gaming now for over 2 decades. It's a wonderful time. I don't regret any of it. So, I will talk to y'all later. And have fun, people.